Happy Monday, everyone. I hope that you are all doing really, really well. And I just wanted to take a minute to kind of check in with you from a more virtual perspective. I've been hesitant thus far to record myself, and I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm like, this is what it is, and I've just got to talk to you the way I would talk to you in the classroom. And so I just wanted to kind of speak on a few things, and then hopefully I'm going to kind of do this through the coming weeks. And it may be that we sometimes do some vocal warm-ups, and sometimes I just share a thought or whatever the case may be. But I hope that you find it helpful and beneficial in the weeks to come. First and foremost, I want to remind all of you, if I haven't already gotten to see you through things like Zoom and Google Hangout, and just even talking through Canvas and or email, I just want to remind everyone how much I miss them. This is not the life that I would choose personally. The extroverted control freak in me is struggling a little bit. So just know that you're not alone if that's the feelings that you're having. So I want to remind you of that. Second, I wanted to just kind of come at you with a thought, and that is that I have actually taken some time to create a space in my own home that really functions well for me, to know that I can move into that space and get work done, make music, exercise. So I challenge you to maybe think about, is there a space that you could redesign or reinvent that just makes you feel a little more at peace, given that you've got this extra time on your hands that you're spending at home? I know Addison has changed her room entirely, and she needed to do that. It was kind of like time to upgrade to the teenage or preteen room. But it's also giving her just this peace of mind that if I've got to be in this space more often, this is the space I want to be in. And it doesn't mean you have to buy anything. It just means reinventing the space. That's what I did with my living and dining room. I just shifted things around so that I always knew I had a place to dock my computer. I had a place to keep all of my notebooks and journals that I'm keeping things up with throughout the days. And then all my kids and Ho do the same. All my kids. I have two. Annie does not dock her computer. But the kids dock their Chromebooks there, and Ho has his big, because he has one of those big screens and computer, and it just works really, really well. So I challenge you to kind of think about that. That may help you in moving forward in the next several weeks. The other thing I just hadn't really spent a tremendous amount of time wanting to talk about was just the varied emotions that you feel through these weeks. But I think 6 weeks in, I've kind of said, I think I might want to tackle that. First, disappointment is a great one. Disappointment that things didn't get to happen, things aren't going to happen, things didn't go the way we'd expected. So I think that disappointment is a very valued thing that we have to consider. And it's also something that even day to day you may feel, just because it's like, I thought I was going to get this done and I didn't. And if it had been more structured, maybe I would have, so on and so forth. So disappointment's big. Anger, I think that's a very, very common feeling right now, because we're angry sometimes that we don't get to take on the things that we want. We're angry with the fact that, we don't get the answers to things that we would prefer to hear what we want versus what they give us, and so on and so forth. So anger is something that I try to avoid, but it's natural and I sometimes feel it. I think after disappointment, anger, I think obviously there's sadness sometimes. And so I think every now and again, it's okay to give yourself just a good and honest cry. Fear and anxiety is another one that I think all of us who are human, I think the fear of the unknown makes us a little bit anxious. And I think you can't beat yourself up for feeling that, but I encourage you to really make sure you challenge yourself to talk to someone. I'm happy to be that person. Reach out to a friend. I'm finding this FaceTime connection is huge. I didn't know about things like Marco Polo before this, but for those of you that know Aaron, our oldest son, that's been really fun to connect with him that way. And it means that we don't have to necessarily always be in connection at that time the way that maybe a Zoom call would be, or even FaceTime. But it does mean that we can still connect with one another, even daily or multiple times daily if we need to. And that's important for check-in, because he lives independently. And so that's really, really important, I think, for your mental health. The other thing is that sometimes it's just good to feel gratitude. Like, the sun's popping out today, which we know it's been really rainy and gross. So gratitude is important as well. And then just to think about all the people and the things that you love and reach out to them and check in on them. So to feel that sense of security, I think that's really, really normal and human as well. So I challenge you to just kind of remember that you're not alone in this, and I am here if when you need me. And that though I know the academic piece feels like it's important, I think at this point, making sure you're okay is the most important. And then find the time to get those academic things in. And then, you're probably like me, like I'm needing major color. So I'm feeling frustration about that. Those are the little things that you take for granted. I miss sitting in a restaurant, all those things, like it's crazy. But all that to say, I hope this has kind of changed your thoughts on some of the ways that you've kind of tackled the first 6 weeks, or even if it's not changed your thoughts or challenged you a little bit, I hope it's just reminded you that you're not alone in your feelings, and that you're always walking alongside someone, and that is me. And then I know the community that surrounds you in our chorus community. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I will look forward to coming back at you really soon. Take care.